Welcome to today's special event at eLotus. With over 20 years of hosting educational courses, eLotus is your trusted source for premium CEU content, offering 900 courses, 250 speakers, and 3,500 hours of continuing education. I'm Donna Chow, your host and your moderator for today's class, and thank you for joining us. Today's webinar will be from 2 to 4 p.m. Pacific Time. And before we begin, we do ask that you please set your chat preference to everyone so that we can make it an interactive session. If you have any questions for Dr. Chang, please use the Q&A box. After the webinar today, a quiz will be available the next working day, and an email will be sent to you once it is available. Today, we are thrilled to present the webinar, Hemorrhoid, Fistula, Abscess, Constipation, Dr. Chang's Herbal Master Sheet. Dr. Chang is a renowned doctor specializing in herbs and pulse diagnosis, and he has been exclusively supplying evergreen herbs for 25 years. Evergreen is our sponsor, and their commitment to quality with service has made them the ideal partner for Dr. Chang's clinical practice and research. We are honored to have them as our sponsor for our webinar as well. Dr. Chang is a doctor of Chinese medicine, and he is a licensed acupuncturist with over 40 years of clinical experience, having treated over 500,000 patients. In today's class, he will be sharing his expertise in pulse diagnosis and herbal prescription, focusing on his herbal combinations. You will also learn the pulse indications for specific conditions and how to prescribe herbal formulas for them. Dr. Chang has taught several courses with us, which are now available as distant learning CEU videos. If you're interested in improving your pulse diagnosis and herbal skills, Dr. Chang is the expert to learn from. We recommend the Gold Pass membership, which provides unlimited access to his foundational pulse courses and herbs prior to 2020. With the Gold Pass, you can also try the herbs that he talks about through the herb voucher provided by our sponsor, Evergreen Herbs. This is the ultimate value for those serious about learning and mastering herbs. To learn more, I'll post more information for you guys in the chat room. Now let's begin today's class with a quick overview of how Dr. Chang uses herbs, because there's always someone new to Dr. Chang's system, and we don't want anyone to feel lost at all. So if you're a longtime student of Dr. Chang's, please feel free to either review what I'm about to say or go ahead and take a 5-minute tea break. All right, so Dr. Chang's herbal style is different from traditional methods that were taught in school. He exclusively uses extract powders from evergreen herbs, offering around 300 single herbs and 100 formulas. Dr. Chang's pharmacy has approximately 150 single herbs and formulas combined. For more information about his pharmacy, check out his YouTube video. It's linked in your lecture notes. And then by the end of today's class, if you're interested in starting a pharmacy like Dr. Chang's, Evergreen Herbs is offering a 15% webinar discount on the essentials of Dr. Chang's pharmacy. Check the chat room for the link or refer to your lecture notes for details. Formula evolution. Dr. Chang, he creates his own formulations, naming them based on their purpose. The formulas may change as he sees more patients and modifies them accordingly. So updated formulas are denoted with a 2.0 to indicate a new version. Now, what is Fang Jia Fang? Fang Jia Fang refers to combining different formulas for an enhanced effect. Evergreen's extract formulas are decocted and extracted together instead of combining the individual herbs with the end product. So to better understand what Fang Jia Fang is, Dr. John Chen does have a video explaining the concept in more detail on YouTube, and you can find the link for that in your lecture notes as well. Dr. Chang, he prescribes herbs in 100-gram bottles or 150 grams if the patient is not local or it's a chronic condition. The larger bottle allows for a discount on the herbs as well. For a 100-gram bottle, the prescribed dosage is 3 spoons 2 to 3 times a day. And when you're reading Dr. Chang's prescriptions, if Dr. Chang lists herbs followed by a number, it typically means that all the herbs before that number are in that percentage. For example, he has a formula called Sleep Combo 2.0. And this is comprised of Suanzao at 40, Yijiao Hehuanpi, and Zitongyan at 20. Can someone tell me, based on this, how many grams is Zitongyan? So Sleep Combo 2.0, let's say it totals 100 grams. 40 grams, the 40% is 酸枣仁汤. So that leaves 60 grams. So because there's 60 grams and 3 single herbs left over, that means it's 20 grams each of 鱼胶藤, 和浣皮, and 止痛炎. Did you get it right? Perfect. Good job. So the next question is, do you have to mix the herbs yourself? You certainly can. And some formulas like circulation sanjiao and astringent are already pre-mixed as collection formulas in Evergreen's proprietary line. But many of his new formulas, they're not pre-mixed yet because there still needs some tweaking to be done or customization, and so it's in the works. But you can feel free to use them on your own. You can use it as a base to create your own formulas, or you can just copy it and use it exactly how Dr. Chang uses it. It's up to you. So it's very flexible. All right, guys, so that concludes my very short introduction. I hope you found it very useful. And let's continue with the class, and welcome Dr. Chang.
Okay. Can you hear me now, guys? Okay, this is Jimmy Chen again. Today is July 19th, 2023, Wednesday, 2 o'clock in LA. We're going to talk about the hemorrhoid, fistula, abscess, and constipation. Something pretty dirty, but anyway, it's very effective by our treatment. And those things can be very painful. And sometimes even a surgical doctor cannot handle all those problems, but we can in a very easy way. You don't need to do some dirty work. You don't need to tighten it up. You don't need to acupuncture to put a needle in the the area. We just do it with herbs. But there are many tricks in treating all those stuff, hemorrhoid and fistula. Okay, let's get on with it. This is my experience. I have been teaching pulse diagnosis for about 45 years, and I think most of you have learned it from me. The pulse diagnosis is very, very effective in building up our career, because our system is that we insist on not asking for the patient to tell us what problem they have today or they had before. We can find out by ourselves. And in order to, in that way, we can convince the patient that we know what we're doing and we know about his problems. So they will have more confidence in us, then be more willing to take our herbs treatment. Okay, everything is based on my 45 years clinical experiences. Interesting. Okay. Let's find out. Okay, have you forgotten this, how to take the pulse correctly and put the high bone in between the cun and guan, the index finger and the middle finger? Is like this, not like the old book says, put your middle finger on the high bone. That will be very incorrect. The best way, the only way to take pulse is put the cun guan between the high bone there. Then put it down, put your third fingers down and make it on a straight line on the vessel to feel the jump and the shape of the pulse. Oh, okay. Okay, hemorrhoid. Let's get on with the hemorrhoid. Hemorrhoid refers to dilatation. I don't have to read all this to you. You can just take a look at what's going on. I have some Chinese here because somebody complained about the English versions sometimes. So I have it here. But most of the time, the hemorrhoid is something here. But anyway, we don't care. It's external or internal. Actually, I don't care what kind of swollen in there. But anyway, hemorrhoid is just kind of like a varicose veins down there. Actually, the varicose veins here, swollen here, just like exactly what's happening inside the head, in the head. So we have an herb that's good for clearing the blood clots, the swollen tissue, the swollen veins in the anus, and as well as the same condition in the head to prevent a stroke or something. That's very interesting. The head and the S are on the same page. It's very incredible for Western doctors. Okay. So what about pulse signs? Is it possible to be a hemorrhoid to be higher up in the rectum? It doesn't matter. I don't care where the hemorrhoid is. I don't care if it's inside or outside. Our treatment will be the same. A little bit, but different, but same. There are three pulses to make to give us a sign there's a hemorrhoid, like this. The first one is the right twin. Sorry. Actually, this joint isn't very correct. It's supposed something stronger on the right twin, like a short pulse and jumpy. Something more like this. Very superficial and very jumpy. The right twin. Right twin is Yangming, so it's large intestine. Actually, in my second system, it is the right twin is the Tai, is the Pi. So if you see something here, that's the Yang Wei, something soft here, then that means the spleen is wrong. The patient might have diarrhea. But in my first pulse system, the right twin is Yangming. And also on my pulse synergy number 2, this is Yangming. So if there's a short pulse there, that also can mean the hemorrhoid. Okay, let's do this. This can be the Yangming. This also can be the Yangming. So the two, either of them, the very sharp and very superficial pulse, very close pulse, then we must know there is some kind of hemorrhoid is there. And we can verify it by the ear point, always. We can verify our findings by the ear point. I'll show you right away. Secondly, frankly, I don't know how to explain it. The right twin is deep and scattered. The right twin is deep, scattered, and forceful. In my pulse synergy book, in the first 6 Qi pulses system, this pulse like this, we said some dead blood clots in the chest due to some impact or drinking ice water in the hot summer days or something like that. But it also means hemorrhoid. Forgive me, I really don't know how to explain it. But according to my experience, it's just like that. The pulse is shapeless. So we call it scattered. You cannot find a real shape, not like this one. So it just kind of a steep and shapeless. But the rest of the Guan and Shi are normal. So that's the most funny part of this kind of pulse. But in the chest and also in the anus, comes with this chest stuff, the same thing to the hemorrhoid. So you can directly tell the patient, hey, you have hemorrhoid. What? You don't believe it? I can show you from the ear point, okay? And the third pulse for hemorrhoid, I cannot explain it either. It's this one. Inchao on the left chi, and this is for right twin, huh? I put them on the same graph so easier to save some space. But this is right twin, not left twin. And this is left chi. The left chi appears an inch out. So what is inch out? It's thin, wiry, tight, and forceful. Okay. This word is very, very important. Try to get a feeling, the tightness of the pulse. The tightness of the pulse is something like this. If you pull a guitar string to a very strong tension, then that's the tightness. We have a lot of tightness pulse in the system and appears on a lot of people. Mostly it's the neck and shoulder. The neck and shoulder, we find a tight pulse, it will be on the left shi. Then this definitely will have some pain and the limited motion, range of motion, and a lot of swollen pain down there, up there. So I developed a spasm combo to deal with the tightness, which is very, very effective. You can add some kind of a tang to release the tension of the neck and shoulder very effectively. So, but now the tightness here, it means hemorrhoid. I cannot explain why this in-child pulse means hemorrhoid, but it just does. And this in-child pulse has a lot of things to say. When I was in front of this patient, I always tell them, when the in-child pulse appears, there's a lot of things to say. First, you have back pain, headaches, constipation, hemorrhoid, skin allergy. I don't know how, but it just show this part just showing that all the problems there. Again, back pain from the tightness. So in this case, the tightness, my experience in Taiwan, that I watch a lot of Western doctors, they're treating the back pain, neck pain, arthritis, something. They always add the muscle relaxant, which is very effective. Take longer than 1 week to start kicking in. This effect is very slow. Our Chinese medicine is much faster. If you use my spasm combo, that those relaxant, it will relax the tension of the muscle very quickly. But the tension of the muscle or pain comes from the inflammation underneath. It's called muscular guard, which create this tension. But anyway, this pulse is good for back pain, disc, headaches, constipation, hemorrhoid, and skin allergy. I don't know why. That's the in-child pulse is for. That's in my 8 extrameridian pulses. It's very difficult to explain why, but it just refers to that, okay? So now we have in-child pulse here. Also, usually I will call this pulse, hey, you have a bone spur or disc or herniated disc pressure on your back. They will always have back pain. And also, this pulse means something more, a lot more. Because the pulse is thin, so that means constriction. And I will directly tell my patient, hey, your lower part, your leg, the circulation of your leg is limited and cold. I have a leg pain all the time. It's not arthritis. It's just muscle tension, which is most of the reason for neck pain. For the joint pain, not necessarily the bone structure. It's just the tightness of the muscle. And I will say, hey, your legs are so cold. Yeah, my feet are freezing cold. And so I use opener and other things to hands like a 四逆汤 to push more circulation to the lower part. and to bring all those painkillers, Chinese painkiller, Western painkiller, to the leg and the feet. And as for the lady, a thin pulse like this, that means endometriosis. So they have a lot of pain when the period comes. Why? Because those ladies always drinking too much ice water during their period time. And all the tubes or channels in the abdominal area became shrunk, become too narrow. The blood doesn't flow. And I would tell them, hey, your abdomen area is cold and painful. Also with the tension of contraction. So I will give them 芍药甘草汤, openers, something like that. I had a patient, she had 3 miscarriages, and 2 of them was the planting, the artificial, whatever you call it. They put eggs in the uterus, but it didn't work. She asked me why. I told her, you're so cold down. All the transportation are shrunk, too narrow. Your body cannot transfer blood and nutrition to the baby. So how could it survive? And next time I gave her 少妇足鱼汤 to open up, to warm up all the abdomen area, and she got pregnant and had a good baby. So this constriction in here, that means hemorrhoid, and also means blood circulation too narrow. It's not good. Okay, any questions? So there are 3 pulses indicating that this patient might have hemorrhoid. So I'd like to also know what's the difference with this. Itchy, non-healing fissures. What? What's the difference with this itchy, non-healing fissures as main complaint and then hemorrhoid? The second. Come on, you will see later. Okay, so let's do the treatment. Okay, first the right swing, floating forceful, just like with excessive Yangming fire. Yangming is stomach and large intestine, so they all connected. And sometimes I would tell my patient that all the hemorrhoid of your problem, your hemorrhoid coming from your stomach. Why? Because of eating habits. Some people eating a lot of spicy food, too much, and drinking too much wine or something will cause that too. Cause the heat in the Yangming, not only the large intestine, but also the stomach. So the pulse will be forceful and on the right swing, or even on the right one. So I'm using all this very interesting. 照角刺, 分房, 槐花, astringent. Okay, 照角刺, the 刺 is like a spike, something sharp, like this. So we can use the 刺, the spike, to destroy the swollen varicose veins in the anus. 陆风房 is the most interesting, is the hornet's net. We use that to clean all the purulent or pus infection, good for everything. 槐花 is the medicine that I mentioned, the single herb I mentioned earlier is good for the head, for the brain, for preventing the high stroke from high blood pressure, because it will cool down the swollen veins, either in the head or in the large intestine, in the colon. So 槐花 is a very effective traditional medicine for hemorrhoid. Astringent complex, of course, is for all kinds of swollen tissues, inflammation, and even for pain. So this one. So I use this one for Yangming fire. Anyway, Actually, if you do not know what yang ming fire is, as long as the pulse is strong and the blood vessel is expanding thick and floating swollen, like the our my six chi pulses, the first one, the big pulse, we call it big pulse. Whenever there's a big pulse, there's a possible varicose veins which is swollen. Not necessarily in the anus, in the colon, can be in the leg, can be in the eyes, can be anywhere. So you can use the same formula for all kind of swollen tissues, including varicose veins on the leg, to treat. Use this formula to treat it. Not necessarily for hemorrhoid. It's good for all the big floating pus. Okay. So, like Donna mentioned earlier, this I use 100% for use for 100 grams, 100% for you to understand easily. I didn't even know, some people don't even know what those percentage means. That means I give them one bottle of medicine, Chinese herb, Tina's herb, this 100% or 150 grams, 100 grams. If you use 100 grams, this is the proportion. Like a 20, 20, 20, 40. So put them all together, mix it, give it to the patient, ask them to take 3 spoonfuls, the plastic spoon Tina is giving you, 3 times a day, and take about a week and come back for a refill or something. That's how we do things in my clinic. So we do 3 refills before coming back. So the patient doesn't have to travel, doesn't have to drive all the way just every week to you. And for acupuncture, sometimes you need the patient to come twice a week. It's a heavy burden for a patient, for a lot of people to travel far away. So we do the refill system. Take 3 refills before coming in. So don't come back every week. And this is the best strategy you might want to try.